I'm Eric Raynaud. My artist name is Fraction. I'm an audiovisual artist based in Paris, in France, but actually my background is quite different because I was initially a musician, a guitar player, mostly focused on the noise and stuff like that back in the 90s and the 2000s. And then I shift at the beginning of the 2010, let's say, when I first make an immersive specific show for a festival in North America named Mutek, and at the moment my practice definitely changed. So Vector Field, the piece I presented for Izlog Festival, is quite different from my usual work, which is more focused on the immersive experience. And Vector Field is not at all immersive, but generally my work is interesting about the physical experience and what makes feel the public a strong emotion. So I'm not this kind of guy quite interested by the technical issues, I would say. I'm mostly interested by the finality of the art, and what touched me is to be, let's say, overwhelmed by emotions. And in my creative journey, let's say from the day I start to make music and different kind of stuff, I got to this situation that I analyzed the fact that for me to feel the strongest experience is to be immersed in an environment, and this environment could be artistic, could be architectural, but this practice around the immersion focus mostly of my intention, and I translate this analyze into the sound practice. And that leads me to get interesting about different way to spatialize sounds, to make, to submerge, let's say, audience with different layers of media, but in particular, of course, the sound. I find quite interesting, and lately I've made a presentation around this subject in particular. It's in the sound and in music, everything went very far away, like in the 60s, even in the 70s. Few artists pushed the boundary on the composition within a spatialization paradigm, very far away, like Stockhausen, Xenakis. They already explored this in the let's say until the 70s, and then suddenly we lost our ways. And since now, like 10 years, with the emergence of different new practice around digital art, but in particular visual art, sound artists start to get interesting again with sound spatialization. So it's a funny way to get back to our roots, but the basics were already there. What is very interesting with sound spatialization is like what cannot do, for instance, the visual is like sound is it's a physical experience, right? So when you push the boundaries of the stereo to make it immersive, you address finally a new way to provoke the physicality of space and architecture, which cannot be done with the visual, and it makes totally sense for now. It's just pity in a way that we had to wait that the visual artists get interesting by the 360 degrees experience to get back to this. Actually, we are opening a new let's say land of perspective to make new creation and stuff like that. So, but for me, it makes totally sense. It's like it's a natural evolution. from a social perspective or cultural perspective, it's interesting to analyze what's happening when you go to inside a church or mosque or all this kind of meditative or mystic space. And the ones who create this space, they create like a physical world with different rules inside, different shapes, different sounds. And it's exactly for me what I'm looking for in my practice. It's to create a virtual or physical world in which I put the audience. And the project I'm going to make for this sound is Spatial Sound Institute in Budapest. I'm starting next month in June, actually. At first would be to use a 3D sound scan of a real space, like a church. You take an imprint of the reverberation, and I'm going to use this imprint of this physical space to create a virtual space in this for this sound. So that's the beginning of the story. But when people get in the show, right, they forget who they are, where they are, and stuff like that. This is really, I think I'm looking for this because it's working on me. It's kind of selfish experience, but well, we are artists somehow, so we are a bit selfish, right?